What if the man paid to end your life was the only one who couldn't pull the trigger? He was trained to kill without hesitation. She was never supposed to matter. Just a name, a face, a deadline, one contract, one bullet, one night to finish everything. But when their eyes met, his hand trembled, because she wasn't just a target. She was his first mistake. And in a world where weakness means death, loving her could cost him everything. Stay with me. This story is dangerous. Before we begin, don't forget to like this video and subscribe. Here you'll find forbidden love stories, dangerous choices, and twists you won't see coming. And today's story, it will stay with you. He had killed before. That was the truth no one ever asked about, and the one he never spoke aloud. In his world, people didn't die dramatically. They disappeared quietly. Accidents, overdoses, bad luck at the wrong time. And this job? This one was supposed to be simple, a woman. No security worth mentioning, no public attention, no complications. The file was thin, too thin for the money being offered. That alone should have raised questions, but he had learned long ago that questions were luxuries men like him couldn't afford. He didn't know her name yet, only the photo. She was sitting on the steps of a small cafe, sunlight brushing her face, smiling at something outside the frame, not posing, not aware she was being watched, just alive. He stared at the image longer than necessary. Targets usually looked empty to him, already gone, already erased in his mind. But something about her unsettled him. Maybe it was the softness in her expression. Maybe it was the fact that she looked like someone who still believed tomorrow was guaranteed. He closed the file. Tomorrow she wouldn't. The instructions were clear. Follow her routine. Choose a clean moment. Make it irreversible. No witnesses, no emotions. He tracked her for 3 days, learned her habits, her favorite street, the way she always slowed down before crossing, even when the light was green. The small details no one ever noticed, except the man planning her death. On the 4th night, he followed her into an empty parking lot. Rain fell lightly. The city was quiet. Perfect. He stepped out of the shadows, gun already warm in his hand. "Don't turn around," he said calmly. She froze, and then she did the one thing no target had ever done before. She turned anyway. Their eyes met, and in that instant, just one heartbeat long, everything went wrong. Because for the first time in his life, he didn't see a target. He saw her. The rain blurred the city lights behind her, turning the parking lot into a place that felt unreal, like a pause between two lives. His finger rested on the trigger, steady, trained, ready. He had ended lives in darker places than this, quieter places, places where hesitation didn't exist. This should have been no different. "Please," she said softly, not screaming, not begging, just one word. Fragile, honest. It hit him harder than any weapon ever had. "Don't move," he repeated, but his voice lacked the finality it was supposed to carry. Her hands trembled as she slowly raised them, rain dripping from her hair, eyes wide but sharp. She wasn't weak. She was scared and aware. That awareness unsettled him. "Did I do something wrong?" she asked. "If this is about money, I don't have—" "It's not about money," he cut in. The lie tasted bitter. She studied his face then, searching for something she couldn't name, and somehow she found it. "You don't want to do this," she said. The sentence landed like a crack in glass. He took a step closer, gun still raised, heart pounding harder than it ever had during a kill. Up close, she smelled like rain and soap, ordinary human details that had no place in his world. "You don't know me," he warned. "I know enough," she replied, voice shaking but steady. "If you wanted me dead, I wouldn't be standing here." Silence stretched between them, thick and dangerous. She was right. His mind screamed orders. Finish it. Walk away. Survive. But his body refused to move. A car passed on the street above. Headlights swept the concrete walls. For a split second, he imagined pulling the trigger, The sound, the fall, the blood mixing with rain, and then he imagined her eyes going dark. Something inside him twisted violently. Lowering the gun felt like betrayal. Raising it again felt impossible. "Go home," he said finally, voice rough. "Walk straight. Don't look back." Her breath caught. "You're letting me go?" He didn't answer. She hesitated, then took one slow step backward. Another. Her eyes never left his. "Who are you?" she whispered. He swallowed hard. "No one you should ever trust." She turned and ran. He stood there long after she disappeared into the rain, chest tight, hands shaking, staring at the empty space where she had been. He had just broken every rule that kept him alive, and somewhere far away, a clock had started ticking. Because the contract was still active, the payment was still waiting, and next time, someone else might pull the trigger. She didn't sleep that night. Every time she closed her eyes, she saw him standing in the rain, the gun, the silence, the way his hand trembled before lowering it. Fear clung to her skin long after she locked every door and curled up on her bed, heart racing like it was still running. She told herself it had been a robbery attempt, a misunderstanding, a nightmare, but deep down, she knew better. The next morning, something felt wrong. Her phone had no missed calls, no warnings, no signs of danger, and yet, the quiet felt heavier than usual, like the city itself was holding its breath. She noticed it on her way to work. The same black sedan parked across the street, the same man inside, pretending to scroll on his phone, the same feeling crawling up her spine. She changed direction. So did the car. Panic tightened her chest. She turned a corner, walking faster now, pulse pounding in her ears. Her mind raced through options. Call the police, scream, run. But instinct told her none of it would matter. Because this wasn't random. This was organized. She ducked into a crowded cafe, breath shallow, hands shaking as she ordered coffee she didn't want. She sat by the window, forcing herself to look normal, forcing calm she didn't feel. That's when she saw him again. Across the street, the man from the parking lot. Not hiding, not running, watching. Her heart slammed. He raised one hand slowly. Not a wave, not a threat. A warning. Leave. Now. Her stomach dropped. She didn't hesitate this time. She stood up, left the coffee untouched, and slipped out the back door, pulse screaming danger. She didn't know why she trusted him, only that something in his eyes the night before had been real. Minutes later, she heard it. A sharp crack. Glass shattering. She ducked behind a dumpster just as chaos erupted inside the cafe. People screamed. Someone shouted. Sirens wailed in the distance. She covered her mouth, shaking. Someone had come to finish the job. And he, the man who was supposed to kill her, had just saved her again. From across the alley, he met her gaze one last time before disappearing into the crowd. And in that moment, she understood something terrifying. He wasn't following her anymore. He was protecting her. And whoever wanted her dead, it wasn't going to stop. She ran until her lungs burned. The sound of screams behind her faded, replaced by the dull roar of blood in her ears. She didn't know where she was going, only that staying near the cafe meant dying. Her hands shook so badly she could barely hold her phone, and when she tried to call 911, her screen blurred with tears. Then a hand closed around her wrist. Strong, firm, not violent. She gasped and spun, and found him. The man from the rain. Close enough now that she could see every detail. The tension in his jaw, the storm behind his eyes, the way his gaze kept scanning the street like danger had a scent. "Come with me," he said. Her voice broke. "Are you insane? You had a gun. I know." His tone was low, urgent. "And if you stay here, you'll be dead in minutes." She tried to pull away, fear twisting into anger. "Who are you?" she demanded. "Why are they trying to kill me?" He hesitated, a flicker of pain crossing his face. "I don't have time," he said, tightening his grip just enough to stop her from bolting. "Trust me, just this once." She should have screamed, should have fought, should have run the opposite direction. But then she saw it. A dark SUV turning the corner slowly, too slow, like it was hunting. The man's eyes sharpened. "Now," he whispered. He pulled her into the narrow space between buildings, pressing her back against the cold brick. His body blocked the alley entrance completely, shielding her like he expected bullets any second. Her breath hitched. His chest rose and fell inches from her. She could smell smoke and rain on his jacket. She could feel the heat of him, the steady strength, the terrifying fact that she was safer behind him than anywhere else. Footsteps passed near the alley mouth. A voice muttered, annoyed, "She was here, find her." She trembled. The man didn't move, not until the footsteps faded. Only then did he release her, stepping back as if touching her had been a mistake. But it was too late. She had felt it. Not just fear. Something else. A connection she didn't want, didn't understand, and couldn't deny. Her voice came out barely above a whisper. "You saved me." He swallowed hard. "I didn't save you. I delayed the inevitable." "What does that mean?" she asked, eyes shining. "Why would you help me if you were the one who—" She stopped because the truth was forming in her mind like a nightmare taking shape. His eyes met hers, and for the first time he let her see it. Guilt, raw and real. "I was hired," he admitted quietly, "to make you disappear." Her world tilted. She stepped back, shaking her head. "No, you wouldn't." "I didn't," he said, voice breaking. "I couldn't." Silence swallowed them. She stared at him, her would-be killer, and realized the most dangerous thing of all. He wasn't lying. And now the only person who could keep her alive was the man she was never supposed to trust. She couldn't breathe, not because of fear, but because everything she believed about her life was cracking open at once. The alley felt too small, too tight, like the walls were closing in on her as she stared at the man in front of her. "You were hired to kill me," she said slowly, each word tasting. Unreal. He nodded once. No excuses, no denial. "Why?" Her voice trembled. "I'm not important. I don't have enemies. I'm nobody." He looked away, jaw tightening, like the truth hurt him as much as it would hurt her. "That's the lie they let you believe," he said, "and it worked, until now." She shook her head. "You're lying." "I wish I were." He stepped back, giving her space, but never turning his back on the street. "You don't know who your father really is," he continued, "and before you say it—" "No, I'm not talking about the man who raised you." Her heart slammed. "What are you saying?" He hesitated, this time longer. "Your biological father is a man with a lot of power, dangerous power, money, influence." He swallowed. "And someone wants to hurt him badly." She stared at him, disbelief mixing with dread. "So they hire you to kill me?" Her voice cracked. "To punish him?" "Yes." The word fell between them like a death sentence. "That's insane," she whispered. "I've never even met him." "That doesn't matter," he replied. "To men like them, you're leverage, a message." Her legs weakened. She leaned against the wall, trying to process a truth she was never meant to hear. "Then why didn't you do it?" she asked quietly. "If you knew all this, why let me live?" He looked at her then, really looked at her, like the answer scared him. "Because you're not a message," he said. "You're a person." Her throat tightened. "I've done terrible things," he continued, voice low. "Things I can't undo. But killing you? Knowing you're innocent?" He shook his head. "That would have been the thing I couldn't live with." Silence stretched between them. The city noise felt distant, unreal. "You should hate me," he added. "You should run, call the police, do everything to get away from me." She didn't move. "Then why am I still here?" she asked. He exhaled slowly. "Because if you walk away now, they'll find you. And next time, they won't hesitate." Her eyes met his. "And if I stay?" His voice dropped to a whisper. Then your life changes forever. The truth settled heavy in her chest. She had two choices: trust the man who was paid to kill her, or trust a world that had just proven it never protected her at all. And somehow, terrifyingly, she already knew which one felt safer. She stared at him for a long moment, the city breathing around them, unaware that her life had just split in two. Every instinct screamed at her to run, to put distance between herself and the man who had been hired to erase her existence, and yet her feet wouldn't move. "If I go with you," she said carefully, "I'm trusting a stranger who admits he's a killer." He didn't flinch. "Yes, and if I don't?" His jaw tightened. "You'll be dead within days." The honesty in his voice terrified her more than any lie could have. She hugged her arms around herself, trying to hold together the pieces of who she was before this alley, before the gun, before the truth. That version of her had believed the world made sense, that bad things happened to bad people. She knew better now. "Where would we even go?" she asked. "They know my face, my name, my routine." He exhaled slowly. "I have a place, temporary, off the grid. No cameras, no digital trail." He paused. "But once you step into that car, there's no pretending this didn't happen." She looked at the street again, half expecting another dark vehicle to appear. "Will you hurt me?" she asked suddenly. The question cut deeper than she expected. He met her eyes, steady and raw. "Never." The certainty in that single word made her chest ache. She nodded once, decision made before fear could stop her. "Okay," she whispered. "I'll go." They didn't touch as they walked, not at first, but when a siren wailed somewhere too close, she flinched without thinking. His hand found hers instinctively, grounding, protective. She didn't pull away. The car was old, unremarkable, the kind no one ever remembered seeing. As he drove, she watched the city fade into distance, every familiar landmark dissolving like a past life she could never return to. Minutes passed in silence before she spoke again. "What happens after this?" He hesitated. "That depends." "On what?" "On whether I can keep you alive long enough to make things right." She turned to look at him, really look at him, and saw something beneath the danger, beneath the guilt. Resolve. For the first time since the rain-soaked night in the parking lot, she felt something unexpected rise through the fear. Hope. Because if death had been chasing her, then maybe this man, broken and dangerous as he was, wasn't just her weakness. Maybe he was her only chance to survive. The safe place wasn't what she expected. No guards, no weapons on the walls. Just a small, forgotten house on the edge of nowhere, swallowed by trees and silence. The kind of place people passed without ever noticing, which, he explained, was exactly the point. "This is temporary," he said, as he unlocked the door. "We don't stay long." Inside, the air smelled like dust and old wood. One couch, one bedroom, one truth. Neither of them was ready to say out loud. She stood near the doorway, arms crossed, suddenly unsure of where to put herself. "You can lock the door," she said, "if you want." He looked at her like the suggestion hurt. "I don't need to lock you in," he replied quietly. "You're here because you chose to be." That choice echoed through her chest. Hours passed in a strange, fragile calm. He checked windows, curtains, the perimeter. She sat on the couch, listening to the silence, feeling the adrenaline slowly drain from her body, leaving behind exhaustion and fear she could no longer hide. When her hands started shaking, she didn't even realize it. He did. "Hey," he said softly, kneeling in front of her. "Breathe." She tried, failed. Tears blurred her vision, spilling before she could stop them. "I almost died," she whispered, "and my entire life was a lie." He didn't touch her at first, just stayed there, present, grounding. "I know," he said, "and I'm sorry." "For what?" she asked bitterly. "For being the one hired to kill me?" "For not pulling the trigger," he answered, "because that choice dragged you into my world." Something broke open in her then. She leaned forward, resting her forehead against his chest. His body tensed, then slowly relaxed as he wrapped his arms around her, holding her like she might disappear if he didn't. It wasn't romantic, it was necessary. Her sobs soaked into his shirt, and he stayed still, breathing with her, anchoring her to something solid when everything else had fallen apart. When she finally pulled back, her face inches from his, their eyes met in a way that made her heart stumble. "This is wrong," she whispered. "Yes," he agreed. Neither of them moved away. The silence between them changed, no longer empty, but heavy with something dangerous and alive. And in that moment, hiding stopped being just survival. It became the beginning of a connection that could destroy them both. The first sign that they had been found came quietly, too quietly. She noticed it before he did. The way the birds outside suddenly went silent, as if the forest itself had frozen. She lifted her head from the couch, heart pounding. "Do you hear that?" she whispered. He was on his feet instantly, every muscle alert. "Stay here," he said, moving toward the window. She didn't. She followed him just enough to see what made his face harden. A black sedan parked far down the dirt road, engine off, no lights, waiting. "They found us," she breathed. He swore under his breath. "That was fast," he muttered, "which means someone talked." Fear wrapped around her spine. "Who?" He didn't answer right away. "The man who hired me," he said finally. "He doesn't like loose ends." The words landed heavy. "So I'm a loose end," she said. "You're the reason he's furious," he corrected. "You're alive." The sedan door opened. One man stepped out. Then another, both armed. He grabbed her wrist, pulling her toward the back of the house. "We're leaving now." They barely made it through the rear door before the first shot shattered a window, glass exploding inward. She screamed as he shoved her down behind the kitchen counter, his body covering hers instinctively. "Don't move," he hissed. Footsteps crunched outside. Voices murmured. Calm, confident. "They think I'll finish the job for them," he whispered in her ear. "They think I'll choose them. Over you?" Her chest tightened. "And will you?" she asked, terrified of the answer. He met her gaze, eyes burning. "I already chose." Another shot rang out, closer this time. He pulled her up, dragging her toward the back exit, bullets tearing into the walls behind them. They burst out into the trees, branches whipping at her face as they ran, breath tearing from her lungs. She stumbled. He caught her. "I won't let them take you," he said fiercely. "Not alive, not ever." Behind them, men shouted. Orders. Ahead of them, darkness swallowed the path, and she realized with a chill that ran deep into her bones, the man who paid for her death wasn't just trying to kill her anymore. He was starting a war, and she was standing at the center of it. They didn't stop running until her legs gave out. Deep in the woods, hidden beneath the cover of trees and darkness, he finally slowed, pressing her gently behind a fallen log. Both of them were breathing hard, hearts pounding loud enough to betray them if anyone was close. For a long moment, neither spoke. Then she looked at him, really looked at him, and saw something she hadn't before. Fear. Not for himself, for her. "You said the man who hired you doesn't like loose ends," she whispered. "Why is he so obsessed with me?" His jaw tightened. He turned his face away, as if the truth physically hurt. "Because you're not just leverage," he said quietly. "You're evidence." Her blood ran cold. Evidence of what? He hesitated. Too long. "Say it," she demanded, voice shaking. "Whatever it is, I deserve to know." He exhaled slowly, surrendering. "Your real father didn't just cross powerful people," he said. "He helped put them in prison. Politicians, crime bosses, men who were supposed to be untouchable." Her stomach twisted. "And the man who hired me?" she asked. "He lost everything because of him," he replied. "His empire, his money, his freedom." He met her eyes again. "And you're the last thing he can take." She backed away, shaking her head. "This is insane," she whispered. "I've lived a normal life. No protection, no warnings, nothing." "That was the point," he said softly. "You were hidden until someone leaked your existence." Silence crashed down between them. "Someone close to you," he added. "Someone you trusted." The betrayal hit harder than the bullets. Tears welled in her eyes, not from fear, but from grief, from realizing her entire life had been built on secrecy and lies meant to protect her, until they didn't. "If I'm evidence," she said slowly, "then killing me isn't the he interrupted immediately. Ends the truth forever." She hugged herself, shivering despite the heat. "And you?" she asked. "Why don't you just hand me over? Save yourself?" His answer was instant. "Because once I saw you," he said, voice breaking, "you stopped being a job." She looked at him, heart aching. "That choice will get you killed." A sad smile touched his lips. "Maybe," he said, "but letting you die would finish me. Anyway." In the distance, a branch snapped. Both of them froze. The hunters were close, and now she understood the terrifying reality. If they were caught, she wouldn't just die. The truth would die with her, and the man who chose her over survival would pay the price first. The sound came again, closer this time, boots crushing leaves, a radio crackling softly. The hunters weren't searching blindly anymore. They were closing in. She grabbed his arm, panic flashing in her eyes. "We can't outrun them forever." "I know," he said quietly. He reached into his jacket and pulled out a small flash drive, pressing it into her hand. "What's this?" she asked. "Everything," he replied. "Names, transactions, proof." His jaw tightened. "The truth they're trying to bury with you," her breath caught. "You're giving this to me." "If something happens," he said, holding her face gently, "you run. You give this to the press, or the feds, anyone who'll listen." Her hands trembled. "And you?" He didn't answer right away. The silence told her everything. "No," she whispered fiercely, "we leave together." A shout echoed through the trees. "There!" A flashlight beam sliced through the darkness. He pulled her behind him, gun raised, eyes calm in a way that terrified her. "This was never supposed to end with me alive," he said softly. "But you were." Tears slid down her face. "I don't want to survive without you." He leaned in, forehead touching hers, a fragile moment stolen from chaos. "You already changed me," he whispered. "That has to be enough." Gunfire erupted. He fired back, dragging her toward the slope behind them. A bullet tore past his shoulder, another ripping into the dirt inches away. Then, pain. He stumbled. "No!" she screamed, catching him as he fell. Blood soaked his side, dark and spreading fast. "Listen to me," he gasped. "This is the only way." She shook her head violently, pressing her hands against the wound. "I won't leave you." Sirens wailed in the distance. "Police, back up." Someone had triggered an alert. He smiled weakly. "You see, you were never meant to disappear." She clutched the flash drive to her chest, sobbing. As red and blue lights flooded the forest, the hunters scattered. He squeezed her hand one last time. "You were my weakness," he whispered, "and my redemption." When the medics reached them, she refused to let go, and as dawn broke through the trees, she knew one thing with painful clarity. He had been paid to kill her. He had chosen to save her, and in doing so, he had rewritten both of their fates forever. If this story made you feel something, don't let it end here. Leave a comment and tell me, what would you have done in his place? And if you enjoy forbidden emotional stories like this one, make sure to subscribe to the channel. New stories every week, stories that stay with you long after they end. Thank you for being here. I'll see you in the next story.